Hello everyone, Phoenix Knight here. Welcome to the channel, and welcome back to the 2009-10 hockey season on the channel. Tonight, block number 22 takes us to the Canadian Tire Centre and Ottawa, Ontario, Canada for a Northeast Division matchup of Canadian teams between the Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens. The Senators are at the top of the division with a record of 20 wins, 16 losses, and two overtime losses. Good for 42 points. Tied with Toronto, but Ottawa has a board win to Toronto's board loss. As for Montreal, they are still very much in the thick of the race. At 19 wins, 20 losses, and one overtime loss, which is good for 39 points. So we'll see what happens in this divisional matchup tonight. We've got the fans are filing into the arena. O Canada has just finished playing, and we are all set to get into this game once I get my play chart for Strat over here on top of my iPad. So that is just out of shot. I'm just going to check, make sure. Okay. We are all set to go, so let's jump right in. Face-offs are even to start the game. 16. That'll be visitor win. That'll go over to Kostitsyn. That's Andre Kostitsyn, and we're off and running. He will lose the puck. Outside shot only for Alfredsson. Alfredsson will let that go from the point. 7, save made, and over to Hamrlik. Hamrlik with it. That'll be opponent defense 8. Volchenkov will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He's going to let that go from the point. 7, he'll lose that over to Plekanec. Plekanec with it for Montreal. Passing D will be an inside shot for Kostitsyn. Michalik will try to intimidate. Michalik will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Outside shot only for anybody. They will give that to Spezza. Spezza's going to let that go from the point after gaining the zone. That's a 2. Uh-oh. That's a goal on a 1-10. Price makes the save. Arena groans. Ugh. That faceoff will come to the left of Price. A 20 is going to be a road win. That'll go to the right wing. That'll be over to Kostitsyn, and we're off once again. Opponent defense 1. Michalik will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass on that. Passing J will be an inside shot for Spezza. Spezza at the point. Spezza in the slot with an 11. Save made, and that'll go over to Plekanec. Plekanec for Ottawa, or for Montreal. Opponent defense 4 looking at Spezza. That'll be an inside shot for Kostitsyn. Volchenkov will try to intimidate. He will intimidate, take the puck away, but a possible penalty. 1-15, no penalty. That's a 5, we'll play on. Inside shot for anybody. He will give that to Spezza. Plekanec will try to intimidate. 1-12. He'll take away the puck, but a possible penalty. 1-12, no penalty. That's a 4, no penalty, we'll play on. Plekanec will lose that right back to Spezza. Spezza for Ottawa. Opponent defense 11. That is going to be a penalty on Plekanec. He's going to go off for holding. 1, 2, 3, and a forwards line change before we see what kind of power play Ottawa is going to have as they're trying to open up the scoring here at home. All right, let's see what kind of power play Ottawa is going to have. 13. Checking for one or more 4-rated defensive players, and we do have a 4-rated defensive player. So we will start that off with an outside shot for the left wing. So that'll be Cullen with an outside shot. 7 will be a save. Then that'll be an outside shot for the center, so up to Fisher with it. That's a 7. That'll be a save as well. Then we've got an outside shot for anybody, which will be Fisher gathering that back up. He'll take an outside shot with it. That's a 5. Save made. Then an inside shot for the right wing. That'll be up to Neal with an inside shot. 7 is going to be another save. And finally, inside shot for any player. That'll go back to Fisher. Fisher with an inside shot. That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. Offense, any player with an offense rating 2 or more. Fisher is going to follow his own rebound. He's right there in the slot. That's a 9. That's a goalie rating on Price. 2, 3, 4, and 8 are your bad numbers. That's an 11. Save made by Price, and the Canadiens get out of trouble. Arena groans. Ugh. That faceoff will come just out of the Montreal zone. Faceoffs are +1 to Ottawa. A 10 will be a superior win. That'll go to Neal, and we're off once again with the puck. Passing D, that'll be an outside shot for Fisher. Fisher's going to try to make a pass. Lose the puck. Any defensive player has control. The Canadiens will give that to Spacek. Spacek will lose the puck. Outside shot only for Fisher. Fisher lets that go from the point. That's a 9. That's a goalie rating on Price. That's a 7. Save made by Price, and that'll go over to Hammerlick. Hammerlick with it from Montreal. Looking at passing E, that'll be an outside shot for Gianta. Gianta will try to make a pass. Inside shot for Gomez. Gomez will let that go from the slot. That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. Defensive right D, if defense rating 2 or more. Volchenkov is a 5. He will have that just in time for a defensive line change. Campoli with it for Ottawa. Trying to get something going. Opponent defense 2. Gill will take the puck away with an inside shot. Sutton will try to intimidate on a 1-12. He will intimidate, take the puck away. Sutton with it for Ottawa. Opponent defense 8. Gorges will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He'll let that go from the point. That's an 8. That's a rebound chance. Offensive right wing. That's over to Gianta with the rebound shot. That's a 6 on the rebound. Save made and over to Cullen. Cullen for Ottawa. Losing the puck. Possible breakaway. Right wing, if the breakaway penetration is 2 or more, Gianta's a 4. He's in on Elliott all alone. What can Gianta do with it? That's an 8. That's another rebound chance. Defensive left defenseman, Sutton with it for Ottawa. Opponent defense 5. Gorges will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. Lose the puck over to Campoli. Campoli for Ottawa. Passing F. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Gianta. Gianta's going to try to make a pass. Passing L. He'll lose the puck over to Neal just in time for a forwards line change. The centers for Ottawa were sticking together for a second there. When we get done with the line changes here, Kovalev will be in control of the puck for Ottawa. Kovalev with it for Ottawa. Opponent defense 4. Looking at Moen, he'll take the puck away with an outside shot. Moen is going to try to make a pass. And that'll be an inside shot for Moore. Moore's got it for Montreal. He's in the slot. He lets it go. 6. That's a goalie rating on Elliott. 2, 3, 5, and 6 are bad numbers. That's a 9. Save made, and that'll go over to Ruutu. Ruutu for Ottawa. Passing E. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Moen. Moen will let that go from the point. That's a 10. Save made, and back over to Kelly. Kelly for Ottawa. He'll lose that over to Moore. Moore's got it now. Inside shot for anybody. They will give that to... Moore will take that himself. Kelly will try to intimidate. He will intimidate, take the puck away, but a possible penalty on a power play 16. 1-15, no penalty, though. That's an 11. Kelly will have that. We'll play on. Passing F. Lose the puck. Outside shot for Moen. Moen is going to try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Kovalev. Kovalev with it. Possible breakaway. Uh-oh. That's the center. Kelly's got it. He's in alone on Price. What can he do with it? That's a 12. That's a goalie rating on Price. 7. Save made by Kelly. That'll go over to Gorges. Gorges with it for Montreal. Possible breakaway. Right defenseman or the lefty if the breakaway penetration rating is 2 or more. It isn't for either one, so Sutton will have that for Ottawa. Opponent defense 9. Gorges will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He lets that go from the point. Or from the point 5. He'll lose that over to Campoli. Campoli for Ottawa. Losing the puck. Outside shot only for Moen. Moen's going to let that one go. That's a 10. Save made and over to Kelly. Last chance for Ottawa. Opponent defense 7. He will take the puck. That's more. He will take the puck away with an outside shot only. Time ticking down in the first. That's a rebound chance. Defensive left D if defense rating 3 or more. Sutton's a 4. He will take that puck away, but that's the horn to end the first period. After 1, we are still reading goose eggs on the board here in Ottawa as we get set for the second period of this game. Action getting intense here already in Ottawa as the Senators are trying to hold on to a fragile division lead. If the playoffs started right now, they would be the 3 seed. Montreal would be out. Those cards from those left wings for Montreal don't seem to want to stay stable right now. I'm going to adjust that just so. Hopefully you guys are enjoying a little Friday night hockey here on the channel. While we're getting ready, I will give you guys a heads up that the content schedule is going to be all kinds of messed up next week since I will be at Gen Con and I won't be doing any videos while I'm there. So what it looks like is going to happen is I'm probably going to have my last hockey game until I come back from Gen Con be on Sunday. Then Monday we'll do Pino with Phoenix. Tuesday, there'll probably be product unboxing on Tuesday, assuming I don't get to it yet this weekend, which I could very easily, as the weekend is very, very young. But I do have at least one more product unboxing I want to do before I go down to Gen Con. So that, like I said, there'll be no videos. In fact, I'm going to do the first episode, likely Sunday. I'm going to do August's first episode of Mystical Munchies. We'll see how the schedule shapes up for that, though. So essentially we're getting a double Mystical Munchies upload this weekend before I go to Gen Con. My plan right now is to go down on Wednesday afternoon and come back on Sunday. So probably in the afternoon, once I have a little bit of time to recover and put myself something resembling together, we'll get together, have a little Gen Con wrap show where I'll show everything that I picked up from Gen Con. And then on Monday, we'll get back into the regularly scheduled videos, including the hockey season replay. So that's kind of what I've got kicking around in my head right now when it comes to the content schedule for the next couple weeks. But just figured I'd give you guys a heads up on what's going on that front. There will probably also be a standings update in this replay as of December 31st, since tonight will be the last month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defense, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Since this will be the last night of since this will be the last block of December in the replay, so there'll almost certainly be a standings update, and if the playoffs started today, post as well on the channel and the Facebook groups that I normally frequent. So look to those for the standings update. Anyway, we are all set. So let's jump into the second period of this game. Once again, goose eggs on the board. Face-offs are even. And a 19 will be a visitor win. That'll go over to the visiting left wing, Camilleri, and we're off. Looking at an outside shot only for anybody. That will go to... Camilleri's going to take that himself, actually. That's a 3. That'll be a save, and that'll go over to Michalik. Michalik for Ottawa. Opponent defense 6. That'll be an outside shot for Spezza. Spezza's going to try to make a pass. Passing L is an inside shot for anybody. He'll give that to Alfredson. Alfredson with it. That's a 7. Save made, and that'll go over to Andre Kostitsyn. Kostitsyn for Montreal. Inside shot for anybody. He will give that to Plekanec. Spezza will try to intimidate. Spezza will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Spezza with it, looking at passing E. That'll be an outside shot for Mikhailiuk. He will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Kostitsyn. Kostitsyn for Ottawa or for Montreal. He will lose the puck. Outside shot only for Volchenkov. Volchenkov will let that go from the point. That's a 4. Save made and over to Kostitsyn. Kostitsyn for Montreal. Possible breakaway. Right defenseman, if the breakaway penetration rating is 4. It is not. Mikhailiuk will intercept that pass. That'll be opponent defense 11. Kostitsyn, that's going to be a penalty. Kostitsyn will go off for elbowing. 1, 2, 3. After the power play, we'll resolve the forwards line change. 14. If 2 or more 4-rated defensive players, yes. We do have 2 or more 4-rated defensive players. So we'll start off with an outside shot for the left wing. That'll be Mikhailiuk as he's got the puck. 6 is a save made. Then we've got an outside shot for Alfredsson as he lets that go from the point. Doesn't get a good look. 7 is going to be a save. Then we'll finish with an inside shot for Volchenkov. He will let that go from the slot. That's a 7. He'll lose that over, and the penalty is over. Arena groans. Ugh. Just in time for a forwards line change. For a goose eggs all around game, we've got an exciting one here in Ottawa tonight. Faceoffs are now +2 to the, or +1 to the Senators, which a 9 will turn into a superior left wing win. That'll be Cullen, and we're off once again. Opponent defense 2. Gianna will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Fisher, who will intercept that pass. Passing D for Fisher will be an inside shot for Neal. Pulio will not try to intimidate. The inside shot will go. That's an 8. Uh-oh, that's a rebound chance. Offensive left wing, if offense rating 2 or more. Cullen is a 4, so he will have a rebound shot on it. That's a 5. That's a goalie rating on Price. That's a 4. Score! Matt Cullen giving the Senators the first goal of the game and a 1-0 lead. Arena cheers. Yay! Let's see, that came from Fisher. And we'll flip a puck or flip a card over to get an assist. Any player, nobody's a 7. Left D, no. Right D, 2. Yep, that'll be Cullen from Fisher and Volchenkov. As the Senators have now opened up a 1-0 lead here early in the second. Okay. Hang on, I just saw something come up, so I'm going to take a small break so I can type this up. I saw something about tomorrow that I need to check on. Okay. Before I lock my iPad down, I better get my ticker ready to go. As we'll bring the teams back to center ice. And actually, when was that message? Let me check to make sure the timing is still good. Oh, yeah, okay. Still fairly good. All right, let's get back. What the? Oh, here we go. Schedule. Okay. Now that we've got that sorted out, the teams are at center ice, and Ottawa is now leading 1-0. Faceoffs are +1 to Ottawa. 18, though, is going to be an inferior right defense win. That'll be... I was about to give it to Volchenkov, but it's actually Spacek with it for Montreal. Opponent defense 1. Phillips will take the puck away with an inside shot. Spacek will try to intimidate. He will intimidate, take the puck away. Spot check with it for Montreal again. He will lose that over to Phillips. Phillips with it. They're going to play hot potato. They're going to play hot biscuit with the puck. Just in time for a defensive line change, a defenseman line change. Gorges with it now for Montreal. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for Cullen. Cullen will let that go. That's a 7. Save made and over to Gorges. Gorges for Montreal. Opponent defense 4. Sutton will take the puck away with an inside shot. Gill is not going to try to intimidate. Inside shot will go. 4. He'll lose that back over to Gorges. Gorges for Montreal. Passing D. He'll lose the puck. Inside shot for anybody. Opponent intimidating. Fisher will get the inside shot. Gomez will try to intimidate. He will take the puck away, but a possible penalty on a 1-12, no penalty. That's a 10. Gomez, no penalty, will play on. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Fisher. Fisher will let that go from the point. That's a 7. Save made, and over to Pulio. Pulio for Montreal. He'll lose, actually, opponent defense 5. Neal, that'll be an outside shot for Gianta. Gianta will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck. Any defensive player will have control. He'll give that to Campoli. Just in time for a forwards line change. That is Campoli with the puck for Ottawa. Passing F. Will lose the puck. Outside shot for Kostitsyn. Kostitsyn will try to make a pass. Passing K, that'll be an inside shot for Moore. Great pass to set Moore up. 6, that's a goalie rating on Elliott. And an 8 is a rebound. Defensive right D, that's over to Campoli for Ottawa, putting a stop to the rebound sequence. Opponent defense 7. Gill will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He'll let that go from the point. 11, that'll be a save made by Elliott. That'll go to Sutton. Sutton for Ottawa. Opponent defense 10. Gorges will take the puck away. Outside shot only. Let that go from the point. 10 is a goalie rating on Elliott. That's a 7. Save made. And over to Campoli. Campoli for Ottawa. Passing E. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Moore. Moore's going to try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for Moen. He's going to let that go. He's going to get a stick on it from the slot. 8 is a rebound chance. Uh-oh. Rebound is the defensive center. Defense rating 3. Kelly is a 2, which means Moore's got a rebound shot. That's a 5. Save made by Elliott. And over to Ruutu. Ruutu for Ottawa. Possible breakaway. Right defenseman, if the breakaway penetration rating is 4. Campoli is a 2. He will lose that over to Kostitsyn. Kostitsyn for Montreal. That'll be opponent defense 9. Ruutu, that's going to be a penalty. Ruutu will go off for tripping. 1, 2, 3. Power play we're looking at for Montreal is a 4. If the right defenseman is a 2 or more, Campoli is a 2. Actually, yeah, 4 is 2 or more, he is a 2. That'll be an outside shot for the left defenseman. That'll be Gill. A 6, save made. Then an outside shot for the right defenseman over to Gorges. A 6, save made as well. Then an outside shot for the left wing up to Moen. As they get it back out to Moen. 11, that'll be lost over to the defensive right wing. That won't get through traffic. And an inside shot for anybody. That will be an inside shot for Moore. He's going to let that go from the slot. That's a 6. That's a goalie rating on Elliott. An 8 is a rebound. Defense, any player with a defense rating 3. Sutton is a 4. He will have control of that rebound. Arena cheers. Yay! We'll take that face-off just outside the Ottawa zone. Face-offs are +1 to Ottawa. An 8 will be a home win. That'll go up to Kovalev, the right wing, and we're off for the last play of the second period. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for Gill. Gill will let that go from the point. That's a 7. Lose it to the defensive left wing. That won't get through traffic to Ruutu, but that That's the horn to end the second period of this game. And after 2, Ottawa with a 1-0 lead here at home. As the arena is very happy with what they see on this one so far. But we still have another run through the deck of hockey to play tonight as we get set for the third period. And tomorrow, Block 23 will be on New Year's Day 2010 as we will be visiting the KeyBank Center in Buffalo, New York, as the Atlanta Thrashers will be in town to take on the Buffalo Sabres in Inside the Crease hockey. This will also be our first block since the first with the playoffs started today post. So here we should start seeing the playoff picture come into focus, coming into the action tonight. Coming into tonight's action, Atlanta would be a playoff team with 45 points. Buffalo would be out with 41. Actually, no, I think looking at this, we want the 2 best wildcard teams. Actually, Buffalo right now would be the 8 seed, so never mind that. Buffalo would be a playoff team right now, surprisingly. But let's remember, the way that these playoffs are structured, all it takes is getting to the dance, and then anything can happen after that. As we saw in the 1985 baseball replay, anything can happen. Just ask the Montreal Expos. They went from left for dead in the wild card round to World Series champions. So yeah, like I said, all it takes is just get to the dance. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to get you there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Defensemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Zamboni's done clearing off the ice. We are all set for the third period of this game. I'm going to check here one more time. Nope, everything all quiet. So, let's drop the puck and get into this third period. Face-offs are even. Actually, let's bring the puck back to center ice. 9 is going to be a home win. That'll go over to Mikhailiuk, and we're off and running for Ottawa. Lose the puck, outside shot for anybody. They will give that to Kostitsyn. Mikhailiuk will try to intimidate. He will intimidate, take the puck away. Mikhailiuk with it for Ottawa. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot only for Kostitsyn. Kostitsyn will let that go. That's a 10. That's a goalie rating on Elliott. That's a 4. And that'll sail out of play for a... Actually, let's do this. We'll see if that sailed out of play or if Elliott... Actually, Elliott probably covered that one as that was a goalie rating. So yeah, we'll take that face-off to the right of Elliott. 20... will be an inferior win. That'll go back to Kostitsyn, and we're off. Opponent defense 7. Mikhailiuk will take the puck away with an outside shot only. He's going to let that go from the point. That's a 2. That's a goal on a 1-5. And no, that'll be covered up by Price as we'll get the face-off. Mikhailiuk manages to take it the other way, but Price gets a piece of it, and we'll have the face-off to the left of Price now. And a 14 will be an inferior win. That'll go over to Spacek, and we're off. Spacek looking at opponent defense 3. Phillips will take the puck away with an inside shot. Spacek will try to intimidate. That's a 1. Spacek will easily intimidate, take the puck away. He'll lose that right back to Phillips. Phillips for Ottawa. Passing E. He'll lose the puck. Outside shot for Camilleri. Camilleri will try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot for anybody. He will give that to Plekanec. Plekanec from the slot. That's a 10. Save made and over to Spezza. Spezza for Ottawa. Opponent defense 1. Plekanec will take the puck away with an inside shot. Left wing, Mikhailiuk will try to intimidate. He will take the puck away, but a possible penalty. 1-15, no penalty. 13, Mikhailiuk will have it, will play on. Opponent defense 5, looking at Kostitsyn. That'll be an outside shot for Alfredsson. Alfredsson will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck, as Spacek will intercept that pass for Montreal. Passing F. That'll be an outside shot for Camilleri. Camilleri will try to make a pass. That'll be an inside shot going across the ice for Kostitsyn. He's in the slot. He lets that go. 7 is a goalie rating on Elliott. That's a 6. Score! DeAndre Kostitsyn ties the game for Montreal here in the early stages of the third period. Arena groans. Ugh. Let's see, that was from Camilleri. And we'll flip over a card to get an assist. Plekanec. And now we find ourselves tied at 1 here in the early stages of this third period. Face-offs are even. A 20 is not going to help Ottawa's cause, though. That'll go over to Kostitsyn, and we're off once again. Looking at opponent defense 6. Mikhailiuk, that'll be an outside shot for Camilleri. Camilleri will try to make a pass. Passing K, that'll be an inside shot right back to Kostitsyn. Kostitsyn lets that go from the slot. 10, save made, and over to Mikhailiuk, just in time for a forwards line change. As we are tied at 1 here in the third period. We're now a third of the way home in this third period. All right, that is Cullen with it for Ottawa. Inside shot for anybody. They'll give that to Fisher. Gomez will try to intimidate on a 1-12. That's a 3. Gomez will take the puck away. Gomez for Montreal will lose that back to Fisher. Fisher, looking at passing D. That'll be an inside shot for Neal. Puglia will try to intimidate. He will intimidate, but he'll have a possible penalty. 1-12, it's a penalty, or no penalty. Puglia will have it, he'll play on. Opponent defense 5. Neal, that'll be an outside shot for Gianta. Gianta will try to make a pass. Passing K, that'll be an inside shot for Gomez. Gomez will let that go. A 5 on the inside, save made, and over to Phillips. Phillips with it for a possible breakaway. Right wing, if the breakaway penetration rating is 2 or more. Neal is a 3. He's in on Price alone. What can he do with this breakaway? That's a 9. That's a goalie rating on Price. That's a 4. Score! Chris Neal breaks gives the Senators the lead right back. 2-1 Ottawa. Arena cheers. Yay! We'll flip over a couple cards to get some assists. That'll be from Phillips. And Cullen. As the Senators now open up a 2-1 lead, just in time for a defenseman line change. Face-offs are now +1 to Ottawa, as we'll bring the teams back to center ice. 15 on a +1 face-off. That'll be an inferior left wing. That'll be up to Pulio, and we're off. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for the right wing. For Neal will let that one go. Neal with a 5. Save made by Price and over to Gomez. Gomez with it for Montreal. Losing the puck. Outside shot only for Campoli. Campoli from this point. He'll let that go. 7. That won't get through traffic. Gorges will get that one. Gorges with it for Montreal. Outside shot only for anybody. He will give that to Gill, who's going to try to make a pass. Inside shot for Gianta. Gianta's got it. He'll have the inside shot. A 3. That's a goalie rating on Elliott. And a 9. Save made over to Cullen. Cullen with it for Ottawa. Opponent defense 7. That will be... Gianta will take the puck away. Outside shot only. Gianta will let that go from the point. 12. That would be a goal chance if the Canadiens were on the power play, but they're not. So instead, Elliott will freeze the puck and we'll get a face-off. Arena groans. Ugh. We'll take that to the right of Elliott. Face-offs are +1 to Ottawa still. An 8 will help Ottawa's cause. That'll go up to Neal, and we're off once again. Lose the puck. Outside shot only for Gill. Gill will let that go from the point. That's a 7. That won't get through traffic, as Cullen will intercept that one, but we'll have a forwards line change. And Ruutu with it for Ottawa now. Losing the puck, possible breakaway. Left D, if the breakaway penetration rating is 3, Gill is a 1, so instead Campoli will have that for Ottawa. Lose the puck, outside shot only for Gorges. Gorges lets that go from the point. That's an 8, that's a rebound chance. Offense, any player with an offense rating 3 or more. Moore's got a 3, so he's got a rebound shot. That's a 12. Save made by Elliott over to Ruutu. Ruutu's got it. Opponent defense 4. That'll be an inside shot for Kelly. Gorges will try to intimidate. That's an 8. Gorges will take the puck away. Price starting to look at the net, wondering when he's going to get pulled out. Inside shot for anybody. That will go to Moore. Intimidation. Kelly will try to intimidate. He'll take the puck away, but a possible penalty on Price, or on Kelly. 1 to 15. No, that's a 10. Kelly will have it. We'll play on. Inside shot for anybody. Opponent can try to intimidate. That'll be an inside shot for Kovalev. Moen will try to intimidate. He will intimidate. He'll take the puck away. Moen's got it for Montreal. Lose the puck and a possible breakaway. Uh-oh. Right wing, if the breakaway penetration rating is 3 or more. Kovalev is a 4. He's in on Price all alone. Kovalev shoots. And 6 is a goalie rating on Price. That's a 6. Save made by Price and over to Kostitsyn. Price looking over at the Montreal bench. Looking anxious. He'll lose the puck. Kostitsyn will lose the puck. Inside shot will go to Ruutu. Kostitsyn will try to intimidate. 15 just barely will intimidate, but he'll take the puck away. Kostitsyn with it for Montreal. Passing F. Outside shot for Moen. Moen will try to make a pass. He'll lose the puck over to Kovalev. Kovalev with it for Ottawa. Opponent defense 3. Moen will take the puck away with an outside shot. He's going to throw this at the net. That's a 10. Save made and over to Kelly. One last chance for Ottawa. That'll get lost over to Moore, but that's the horn to end the game. And the Ottawa Senators pick up a huge home victory as they win this one by a final score of 2-1. Arena cheers. Yay! I'm just going to update my ticker here with that score real quick. That's a huge division win for the Senators. As usual, I'm going to go ahead and clean up, and then we will see how the rest of the NHL fared, thanks to our friends at at Downey Games, giving us Final Score Hockey. Another very tightly contested game, and the Senators get a badly needed win as we head toward the new year in this 2009-10 season replay. Okay, after all that rigmarole, we are now set to ask our friends at Downey Games how the rest of the NHL fared via final score hockey. So the Senators pick up a huge division win over the Canadiens by a final score of 2-1. Let's see how the rest of the NHL fared heading into the new year. First up, we are looking at December 28th, Detroit at Columbus. Red Wings, J52, that is 4. Columbus, I-33, that is 3. That is a pressure situation for Columbus. Columbus is an E under pressure. And a 62 might let them score. Detroit can't do anything with a C-15. Columbus will score with the net empty, which means we are going to overtime, where Columbus has a chance to win first. An I-43 won't do it for Columbus, but a J-56 will for Detroit. Detroit will pick that win up 5-4 in overtime. Calgary at Edmonton. Big, I forget what the Western Conference was called back in the 80s, but this was big conference hockey in the 80s. It's not now, though. Calgary, F-12 is 0. Edmonton, I-61 is going to be a lot more than 0. That is 4. Edmonton will win that 4-0. Wild and the Kings. Wild, E-34, that is 2. LA, K-22, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Wild are an E. Kings are a C. Wild can't do anything with an E-32. Kings might be able to do something, though, with the C-62. Can Minnesota stop them? Now with the 26, LA will score. They'll get that win at home, 3-2. Thrashers and the Devils. Thrashers, F12 is 0. Devils, H46, that is 3. Devils will take that win 3-0. Coyotes and the Sharks. Phoenix, E31 is 2. San Jose, O41, that is 4. San Jose will take that win 4-2. Bruins and the Lightning. Wow. Boston, G11 is 0. Tampa Bay, K32 is 3. Tampa Bay will take that one 3-0. Hurricanes and the Capitals. Carolina hanging strong with Washington in the Southeast Division. Carolina, F43, that is 2. Washington, N43, that is 4. They're not hanging that strong. Washington wins that one 4-2. On to December 29th. Wild and the Ducks. Wild, G52 is 3. Anaheim, J25, that is 2. That is a pressure situation for Anaheim. Anaheim's an E under pressure. An E55 won't let Anaheim score. Minnesota will take that win 3-2. Penguins at the Sabres will see Buffalo tomorrow on the board. Pittsburgh, I-42 is 3. Buffalo, J13, that is 1. Pittsburgh will win that one 3-1. Blackhawks and the Stars are both L's. Chicago rolls a 46, that is 3. Dallas rolls a 65, that is 7. Dallas wins an offensive slugfest 7-3. Blue Jackets and the Islanders are both G's. Columbus rolls a 64, that is 4. Islanders roll a 46, that is 3. That is a pressure situation for the Islanders. They're an E under pressure. A 41, though, won't do anything for the Islanders. Columbus will take that 4-3. Vancouver at Phoenix. Canucks. Actually, both teams are J's. Canucks roll a 33. That is 3. Coyotes roll a 51. That is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are B's under pressure. Canucks can possibly score with a 61. Coyotes just at the edge of a 50 with a 53, but they will stop Vancouver. Phoenix now trying to get the go-ahead goal. They can't do it with a 13. We go to overtime. Phoenix with a chance to win first. And a J61 will get it done for Phoenix. They will take that win 4-3 in overtime. Nashville in St. Louis, hoping to not play the Blues. Predators are probably playing the Blues, though. G13 is 1. St. Louis, J56, that is 4. And Nashville ends up leaving with some sad music. December 30th. Thrashers and the Bruins. Thrashers, H22, that is 2. Bruins, G36, that is also 2. Pressure situations all around. Both teams are E's under pressure. Wow, neither team wanted that with an 11, which means we're going to overtime. Boston with a chance to win first. Which a G62 will get done. The Bruins will take that win 3-2 in overtime. Kings and the Flames are both I's. Kings roll a 41. that is 3. There we go. iPad was going nuts for a second. Flames roll a 44, that is also 3. Pressure situations all around. Kings are a C, Flames are a D. 21 can't do anything for the for the Kings. Neither will a D55 for the Flames, which means we've got overtime. Calgary with a chance to win first. Which, wow, an I-66 will get done all day long. Calgary will take that win 4-3. Toronto at Edmonton. Maple Leafs, G64, that is 4. Edmonton, D22, that is 1. Toronto will take a 4-1 victory. Penguins and the Devils. Penguins, H26, that is 2. Devils, I-33, that is 3. That's a pressure situation for the Penguins. The Penguins are a C under pressure. A C-32, though, won't do anything. New Jersey will take that win, 3-2. Flyers and the Rangers. Flyers, I-23, that is 2. Rangers, J35, that is 3. That's a pressure situation for the Flyers. Flyers are a D under pressure. Flyers with a D65 might be able to score. Rangers with an E25 can't hold them off. Flyers get the equalizer with the net empty, which means we go to overtime. Rangers have a chance to win first. A J52 will get it done for the Rangers. They will take that win 4-3 in overtime. Avalanche and the Senators. Ottawa coming off a big division board win here tonight. Avalanche, H54 is 4. Ottawa, I-64, that is 5. Pressure situation for Colorado. The Avalanche are a C under pressure. A C-42 won't do anything for Colorado. Ottawa will take that win 5-4. Washington at San Jose. Two of the top teams in the NHL. Potential Stanley Cup final preview here. Wow. We know which team wanted that one. Washington, L56, that is 4. San Jose, M11 is 0. Washington will win that one 4-0. Canadiens and the Lightning. Montreal, G55 is 3. Tampa Bay, actually they were a G55, which is still 3. Tampa Bay is a J53. That is 4. Pressure situation for Montreal. They're an E under pressure. But a 24 won't do anything for Montreal. Tampa Bay will take that win 4-3. On to New Year's Eve, 2009. Rangers at the Hurricanes. Rangers, G44, that is 3. Carolina, K63, that is 5. Carolina will take that win 5-3. Nashville in Columbus to play the Blue Jackets. Both teams are I's. Nashville rolls a 13, that is good for 1. Columbus rolls a 43, actually a 41, that is 3. Columbus will take that win 4-3 for their last win of 2009. Oilers and the Flames once again. Edmonton, G42, that is 3. Calgary, D65, that is 4. Pressure situation for Edmonton, they're an E under pressure. A 25, though, won't do anything for Edmonton. Calgary will get a 4-3 victory out of that. Devils and the Blackhawks. Devils, E54, that is 3. Blackhawks, P36, that is 4. And that's a pressure situation for New Jersey. The Devils are a C under pressure. A C61 might let the Devils score. Blackhawks are a B62. Blackhawks will come up with a huge save with the net empty. Chicago will take that win 4-3. Ducks and the Stars are both I's. Ducks roll a 55. That is 4. Stars roll a 22. That is 2. Anaheim gets a 4-2 victory. Avalanche and the Red Wings. High-quality playoff hockey from the late 90s, early 2000s. Colorado rolls an H54. That is 4. Detroit rolls a J21. That is 2. Colorado takes that 4-2. Canadiens and the Panthers are both I's. Canadiens roll a 31. That is 2. Florida rolls a 54. That is 4. Florida will take that 4-2. Come on. There we go. LA and Minnesota to play the Wild. Whoa, okay. Kings, I-66 is 5. Minnesota, J11 is 0. Kings get a 5-0 victory. Islanders and the Senators. Islanders, actually both teams are F's. Islanders roll a 31. That is 2. Senators roll a 45. That is 3. That's a pressure situation for the Islanders. They're an E under pressure. But a 34 won't do anything for the Islanders. Ottawa will take a 3-2 victory. San Jose and Phoenix to play the Coyotes. Sharks. I-45 is a big game. '24 is plus 4 columns. So I, 1, 2, 3, 4 is an... So San Jose is an M now. And a 66, wow. San Jose not screwing around tonight. That is 8. Phoenix, J33 is not going to be anywhere near enough. That's 3. The Sharks with an offensive outburst close out 2009 with an 8-3 victory. Last game of 2009, Vancouver is at St. Louis. Canucks, L53, that is 4. St. Louis, J26, that is 2. Vancouver will take that win 4-2. That is your final score hockey by Downey Games. If your team won tonight, congratulations. If they didn't, there's always tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we will be in Buffalo at the KeyBank Center as the Atlanta Thrashers, I believe it was, Yes, the Atlanta Thrashers will kick off 2010 in this half of the replay in Buffalo against the Buffalo Sabres. Before that, Mystical Munchies will conclude out of the Exquisite Exandria Official Critical Role Cookbook as we make the dessert, Berry Surprise Pie. Sunday morning, we will be starting the 2025 Summer of Lovecraft with Pandemic Reign of Cthulhu. Monday, we will have Pinot with Phoenix for July 2025. Thank you for watching the video. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to turn on notifications so you get my content. Be well, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll be back with more videos in the future. Until then, take care everyone. The Ottawa Senators hold off a furious Montreal Canadiens team for a 2-1 win in overtime to play out this last block of 2009 in the replay. Once again, take care, and I will see you guys tomorrow.